Oh, shit.
Hold on, it goes for a minute.
That's pretty chill.
Okay. Well, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Wow.
To the very first episode of The Double Dose.
I am your host, Dipesh.
And I'm Daniel. Nice to meet you.
I mean, we're telling you welcome back, but, you know, this is the first episode. And Daniel and I's whole mantra for this whole day of setting up this first episode was humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings. Where do we start?
Nothing's perfect, but, you know, you got to get stuck in and get it running. And we you know,
just go for it, because sometimes winging it's the best thing you could ever do. How many improv solos have been, you know, stand the test of time?
Dude, imagine the pressure. I mean, I know like people are just straight up musically gifted, but just the pressure of like you're just playing with your band, and then everyone just looks at you, and you're just a guitarist, and you're just like solo, and dude, what if you're just not feeling it?
Yeah, that's actually an amazing.
Where does that come from?
That you just gotta go, and maybe you're so in the moment that you're just like, yeah, this is something that I just do all the time, and that's fine.
You know how like some musicians have a very specific sound, like, you know, if you hear like, I don't know, John Mayer, you're like, that's John Mayer's solo, that's his style.
Yeah.
Is that coming from somewhere within, or is it what scales and techniques they're taught by their mentor when they're learning guitar, and that comes out when they're solos and shit, like when they're just freestyling the shit?
I think there's got to be a bit of them in it, right?
It's interesting. Like, where does that come from? It's like a thought, but it's like a very, very quick artistic thought that's just like has to be perfect as it comes out.
It doesn't have to be. I bet you Prince has screwed it up 100 times on stage. Yeah. No one knew what the hell was going on.
I guess that's the whole point of performing, right? You just got to play it off. You're like, you're a cool cat.
You're just that good that whatever's coming out, it's great.
Yeah, dude.
That's why you're at that level. And that's why I'm not on stage like Prince and nailing guitar solos.
No, definitely not. You got to grow up with a guitar in your hand.
You know, does the vocalist get a solo?
I mean, depends. Like, I know,
he's
like,
just going for ages.
Like Metallica. Like, I mean, I would consider both guitarists to be lead guitarists. They're both pretty adept, musically. So, I mean, you know, and you got the vocalist that's ripping it on the guitar as well.
I just realized we've got totally off schedule, and we haven't told anyone what this podcast is.
This is it, dude. This is how we talk. Okay, and yeah, we get let's wind it back.
ADD, so yeah. So this is Double Dose. You know, we're coming at you from Australia, as you can probably tell from our Aussie accents.
I thought you were
strong
Irish.
it is. I am not Irish.
Sorry about that.
You know, we're coming at you, and we're just two guys, millennials, trying to reach other millennials and give you guys something, you know, to listen to that's not just everything else. I hope that's what every podcast I think hopes for. But
if you like crime, we got crime. If you like scary, spooky,
we got it all. That's what's going to be good. We're gonna have a whole variety of things that are hopefully going to entertain you and not just be boring. And yeah, we're going to be uploading hopefully on all major platforms. That includes Spotify, YouTube, a little bit of TikTok. I don't love it, but yeah. A little bit of everything. Hopefully once a fortnight. Definitely once a fortnight. Maybe even once a week. Who knows?
That'll be cool. And our aim is to release Monday. Every fortnightly Monday.
Yeah, every Monday will be the release date for the videos. I mean, if you're on Spotify, probably no video, unless you're Joe Rogan.
Does Joe Rogan, is he the only one that gets video?
I don't know.
Because there's heaps of podcasts on there.
Yeah, that's the only one I know that has video that I've seen. So we'll be on YouTube, we'll be on Spotify, we'll be on the podcast platforms for you guys.
Yep.
And hopefully we don't run out of content within the first week. But yeah, humble beginnings.
The world would have to stop. And whole history would have to cease to exist. Yeah. So we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Do you want to cast it off with the first topic of the day?
First topic of the day is, what did I write?
I mean, we can just talk about how we how I just swallowed gum before we started recording.
Oh yeah.
And basically Dan was like, spit your gum out, and you know, we're in a situation we don't have any tissues nearby, so he's just said for me to swallow it, and I'm like, well, that's in your stomach for 7 years, right?
You're dead. You're gonna die. Like, how much? But you'd have to eat like a I don't know, what, 20 gums and then your stomach's full. No, how many gums would it be? 50.
I'm pretty
gums,
sure eating too much gum...
50 Hubba Bubbas and you're gone. That's it. Your stomach's finished. You're going to
Are you eating
starve.
that together? That's a lot of gum in your mouth.
Over the whole 7 years. You only got 7 years, and then after 7 years, it resets like that.
Yeah, nice.
And then you get like a free pass and you can eat another 50 gums.
That's pretty good. I mean, it's a bit of a wait, but like, how do these start? Did some kid on the playground just say, "Well, my dad said that's in your stomach for 7," but he made that up on the spot?
That's what my mum said. I'm pretty sure that it's going to do something to your guts and you probably die. But I'm pretty sure that it was made to stop kids from swallowing it because there was like, they don't want all the kids to just eat it because it tastes good right away, and you'll have you'll run out of gum. The parents will be running out of gum. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it was just to scare the little kids. So and an old wives' tale to say, no more gums allowed because you can't. You swallow it, you die. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it all happened.
Well, what about things like watermelons, seeds?
Watermelon seed?
And they're like,
in your guts.
It grows in your guts. Like, I mean, you can't just say to kids, don't...
I don't think that...
Like, where does that start? Have you seen a picture of an original watermelon?
What is it? Like what they look like?
So before GMO.
Oh yeah. Before the world made it like more and more ripe.
More flesh, more flesh to eat. It was just all the white part. So imagine like cutting up a watermelon, and you can kind of see like little segments. It's just like a little pocket of red flesh. Everything else is just the white part. And I guess through selective breeding, you got watermelons, what you have today, seedless and just full of fruit.
Yeah, but that's like that. That's with everything. Like even bananas. What was I was showing the other day? I saw bananas. They look tight. Oh, they look ridiculous.
There's some interesting types of bananas out there, man.
Yeah, and you got like those countries, like people in Brazil. They're like, we gave out 500 different apples. I'm like, okay, can they really taste that different?
I know, right?
But yeah, what else? Wives' tales.
Do you have any other wives' tales? Do you have any like ones that your mum had like specific to like your country?
There was some Croatian one that they used to tell me. It was like this homeless man was hiding in the walls to like scare the shit out of me when I was a kid.
What? Was it to get you to listen?
So I go to bed.
To go to bed? You're going to go to bed with a homeless man hiding in the walls.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I forget even how to.
You've repressed it. You've repressed the scary homeless man. What were you picturing as a kid when you heard that? Did you see
like an old bum?
An old bum.
No. From what I understood, it was like a boogeyman.
Right.
So I was like, okay. Totally freaked out. Like totally like this is too much. Hold on, just adjust.
That would freak me out, dude.
Yeah.
How do you sleep?
Just completely terrified.
I remember being terrified after watching the movie Science. That's the movie that fucked me up as a kid. And
yeah,
I mean, that was because I had a visual stimulus. But just to have your mum tell you that there's someone in the walls waiting for you if you don't go to sleep, oh man, I could not fall asleep.
I think I was definitely more scared of, well, because I had a suspicion that my parents were screwing with me, that they were,
okay, you're like these guys.
They were pulling a fast one.
Right. Well, I've heard that a lot. One time I was at the shops and this mum, her daughter was like running away from her, and she's like, "Don't go down that aisle. The bad man's down that aisle." And I was just like, like, why are you like? What? That's such an interesting way to get your daughter to listen to you. Scare them of just going down a random aisle in the shopping center. Just the bad man's down that aisle. Like,
that's horrifying. You have to think.
But parents just do that stuff. Parents just do that. It's just like this random threat.
Yeah, he's not gonna be scared by that. But then you're traumatized, and that's how you like develop serious issues later.
Does everyone have a memory of losing their parents at the shopping center?
I did, I think, for about a couple of minutes. I never went to the front and had to... is that in there? I never had to go to the front and go, I'm lost, I don't know what's going on. I didn't do any of that.
Like I remember that's what you do, but I didn't do that either. But I remember getting like to the point where I was getting so freaked out, and luckily my parents found me in time, but I was like overwhelmed by that point. But you're a kid.
Yeah.
It's just funny that everyone has experienced that. And maybe it's because your parents told you that a bad man is hiding down an aisle. So when you lose your parents, you're like, holy crap, dude. I got no one to save me from this bad guy down the aisle.
This boogeyman is coming to me. He's going to nab me. And that's it. I'm cooked.
Dude, that's it. Oh, my God.
No, but I didn't get lost or anything like that. I was pretty freaked out if I did. Even if like, you know what would freak the hell out of me? You're in the checkout.
Yeah.
Your mum's paying. Everything's getting to the end. They're paying. Like so they're scanning, and then your mum's like, "Hey, I'm just gonna be like 2 seconds. I gotta go grab something." And you're like,
"Oh, dude, oh, I've been there, dude. I've been there."
I would be horrified.
And you're like you understand you need money to pay for this stuff, and you got like probably $2 saved up. That's the money you have, and you don't. It's not with you, and you're like panicking. You're like, well, if my mum doesn't get back in time, I got to pay for this. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have money to pay for this.
Yeah. I guess that's going through my head, but it was the worst when I think the cashier knew. I definitely did it when I became a checkout chick eventually.
Yeah.
But you know, they get to the end and they tell you the number and it's like $207.18, and you look at them like, Mom!
Yeah, my mum will be right back.
Come back.
My mum will be right back, I assure you.
She's coming back. And you just look like, you don't know what's going on.
Oh, my God.
But that was pretty freaky.
Yeah, but, dude, I know that stress. Again, I think that's another thing that we've all been through. Which, to think about it, I mean, look, we're adults right now, and I don't think I've ever gotten to a situation where I'm loading groceries on the belt and gone, hang on 1 second, and run into an aisle to grab something. Does it? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe when you have kids, you'll do it immediately.
You get distractions and stuff like that,
So old wives' tales anymore?
Not that I can think of, man. Like, I mean, I know my mum gave me a bunch growing up, but off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything right now. But there's just those strange ones that everyone knows about.
Mm. Yeah. I kept thinking about the aliens when you said it. It's very scary. Do you believe in aliens?
100%. 100%. Actually, you know what? You keep that thought going. I remember having this thought about. So, man, I had this idea of like, what if we finally had our first contact and
like it was just going to happen, like signs.
Like, well, but like, what if like, we finally had our first contact, a ship gets down here and it's being live broadcasted. The ship, from what we can see just from, watching on TV, you're like, oh, damn, that doesn't look that 80s sci-fi. It looks like a pretty standard like vessel that we would create. Mm-hmm. And then the door opens up, you do your nice, slowly dramatic draw of the conveyor belt, and the dude pops out, and it's another human that looks identical to you and me, and come to find out that it's just another human race that's developed in another nearly distant planet, I don't know, Andromeda Galaxy or something, and you find out that they're just 3 years ahead of us, technically, technologically.
Only 3?
How crushing would that be? That to find out, like, we're because I'm sure we're still working on space travel and stuff like that. You got these billionaires that are already going to space.
Yeah.
What if the aliens that visited us were just from a very near future for them, like technologically, and then when they come down, they're like, oh yeah, we did that 3 years ago. This is basically the equation, and they go, and we're like, oh,
and they just help us out, and it's all good.
But it's not even a big jump. And imagine like the first contact is just to find out that it's because every time you talk about aliens, you're picturing this super
advanced alien,
super advanced, but that's just as likely, right, as a scenario.
Yeah, I guess, but in my head, I was always thinking that no way it's going to be looking anything like us if there's a chance, because I used to think like, oh my God, the universe is so huge, and the chance of it being, well, I guess, look, I was heavily influenced by movies.
Yes.
And I thought Signs was the one that really scared me.
Yeah,
because you never saw them until the end, which was kind of lame.
Yeah.
But but I thought the gray aliens with the massive eyes was the one to go, and they were going to be the ones to come in and invade. And, you know, Independence Day. Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
Welcome to Earth, son. I thought maybe that was going to be it. But
But
what were they? They were like crazy xenomorph or something looking things.
They had like extra tentacles and stuff, and they were like kind of like telepathic. But giving it more thought. If you were to go to another planet, you'd probably want to visit a planet that's got the lowest chance of killing you as a human. So you'd find a more hospitable planet that's got water and sun that's in the perfect Goldilocks zone.
Yeah, if you can find it.
And then that led me to the thought of like, yeah, I can just picture a group of human-like people that are pretty much you and me, and that are just like maybe 10 years ahead of us. That's just as likely, because we're not we're naturally evolved as we hope, but you would think that happens on other planets. I mean, obviously there's so many different factors involved, different timelines, but I feel like every time you think about aliens, you're just picturing like these guys got a head start on us. Something that was close enough to get to us would have to have around the same starting line as us, give or take a million years.
Well, yeah, that's if they're interested in us. It's like, so what I've heard other scientists say is that, you're not driving down the highway and you pull over a car and you see an anthill and go, man, this is interesting. Let me try and communicate with these things.
Yeah.
They're probably so on their own path, couldn't care less what we were doing. And it's such a pit stop and inconvenience to stop and try and do anything. And that's even if they come past us. Like, it's supposed to be a huge universe, right?
Those would be the ones that are too advanced to visit.
Yeah, they're just doing their own thing. It's just like, whoop, passing by.
When we're like a cell to them, it's so advanced to even
we can see bacteria, but whether they're not... Oh, well, that's if they're even like three-dimensional beings like us. Like a bacteria is like a three-dimensional being as well, but they don't, like, you couldn't even speak to them. Like, they can't even perceive we exist, right? Like, they would have no concept, no understanding of that. Okay, there's larger.
I'm on something.
I'm on a being doing something,
which could be us as well.
That has an intelligent thought. These things are just consume, divide, conquer.
That could be us. We don't know what on like what we're on, how big it is.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like, we're just perceiving the universe as we can see it. This is so cooked, this thinking. It trips me out too hard sometimes.
Well, on that kind of topic, I was like thinking about how we tend to kind of get used to the flora and fauna that we are amongst, and then we also have evidence of the ancestors of the animals that are amongst us right now, and it made me think, like, if humans did die out, do you think and everything was still sweet, the world was thriving, do you think the plants and animals have kind of reached their point, or do you think in another million years they will change again to get to where we're at?
Well, that's the point. It's always changing, right?
That's right. So
it's like constantly changing at such a slow pace you can barely perceive it.
It'd be really interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah, for sure. It's like going back in time and seeing everything was like massive and huge. And,
like fruits won't develop to the fruits that we have now.
No.
And they could continue to just become these things that we can't even fathom. But like, it's just like adaptive mutations that just happen naturally.
Yeah, totally.
But it'd just be interesting if that would happen now. Is there enough factors in the world to promote that much evolution, or has everything reached a kind of slowing point now?
Nah, it's still going. It's going faster, they say. What they say, the universe is expanding quicker and quicker. It's accelerating, if anything. It's getting quicker.
Right.
I don't know if that includes evolution. Definitely with us, we're like forced evolving with, technology and stuff. We're just going to fuse like with technology soon. Like essentially, who said it? Elon Musk, I think he said it. Not that I love him, but whatever. He was like, people are saying, what if we could fuse with technology? And he kind of came in with a point of view and said, we already are. You have this device on you that's pretty much connected with you all the time. You can interact with it quickly. You can like tell it what to do essentially at any point of the time. You can just whip it out of your pocket and type something in. And it's like, how big's the Earth? Boom, you know it immediately.
Yeah.
Like, it's not instantaneous as a thought, but it's almost. And we essentially already merged with technology. It's outside of our body right now.
Well, it's kind of in our bodies as well with some people. Like, if you would say a limb attachment, a leg replacement or something like that, that person hasn't changed. But it is some sort of technology on that person.
Yes.
At what point of replacing things on a human body does it not become a body anymore?
Yes, it's that thing. It's like at one point, how many pieces you have to take away from a chair for it not to be a chair anymore?
Yes.
It's like a fine line, right? I guess if it's more than 50%.
What's that paradox called? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like a ship.
Pull that shit up, Jamie. Pull it up, quick.
Is it ship of a Theseus or something?
Oh, yeah, maybe. It sounds like
Thesis. Right. Yes, and it was essentially talking about how you have this ship.
Oh, and you replace every section of it. How long before it's still the same ship?
Like,
is that what it said?
You replace the mast,
yes,
and then you replace the deck, and then at one point you've replaced the whole ship. Is it that original ship anymore?
That's right.
And then furthermore, all the original parts that you took off that ship, if you were to rebuild the ship with those original parts, what is now the current ship?
Have you cloned the ship?
Have you cloned it? Is the original ship that you replaced slowly over time the ship, or the ship that you've built with all the original parts, the new ship, or the ship?
I guess. Hold on.
It's a thought experiment. I don't know. I thought it was a paradox.
Thought experiment. So how much of a human body do you have to replace before it becomes a ship?
Exactly. And is the human body all of us? Because I can replace my hand, but I'm still me.
Yeah, that's
so.
Is it
just your consciousness?
Well, it's that. Again, I get sidetracked so easy. But I was listening to Alan Watts, amazing, like not physiologist, philosopher and kind of like religious expert. He kind of said, if you were to perceive your body right now, where would you describe you originate? Where do you originate from? Like, if you were like looking at your body now, like, and you say, okay, where's the beginning of you? And a lot of people in Western culture will point to their face and their eyes and say, here, my mind, like this is everything, like I'm seeing here. And he's like, so the rest of you just kind of dangles. Sorry. The rest of you dangles from that point. So it's like you're this head and everything around you is like the external. So like your hands are external to that and your body's external. And so you're just dangling from this centerpiece. But
how do you perceive yourself if you were
I'm like that. Yeah. Like straight up.
Mine feels like a T section, like, so it's like head and then to body. The chest and then two other arms, but then
you don't perceive your legs that often.
Not really, not even my stomach. And kind of from like chest down, it's not really perceived, but like it's like head to chest and then arms as well, because I feel like you use your arms to gesture what you're trying to convey, to show things, to point to. It's very much your mind. You're not pointing with your feet. That's just moves you around.
Yeah. But what he said was, if you go to Eastern culture and they say like, where is your like soul, your body, like where is your inner being come from? They always point to their chest.
That's cool.
And
I like that.
Here.
You feel a lot there.
Is it like a perceptual thing? It's like, are they literally perceiving the world differently because of their upbringing?
Right. That's interesting. I like that. And it's that's where you feel everything, right?
Yeah, like you have feelings in your chest, like your body. I would definitely
laugh. It's coming from here. When you're feeling sadness, it's in the heart.
Yeah, I think it depends on how like bodily healthy and mentally healthy you are.
Yeah,
because like you definitely, I know when I feel healthier, it's like I feel my body a lot more.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm more connected to it and the world, I guess.
For sure.
But yeah.
Breath.
I'm pulling up this Garfield thing. You've been talking about this Garfield thing for like a week. Just tell me what it is. I cannot bear it any longer.
I've watched this video. I don't know if you would technically call it a video essay, but it was by Super Eyepatch Wolf. We'll link the video down the description below. But basically, this guy's gone like on this very extensive, thorough research on the impact Garfield has had on not just the internet but the world. And what was the last time you thought about Garfield?
Oh, you remember those lasagna
culture.
cat videos? That
yes. Well, he actually touches on those lasagna cat videos, but would you know on average, would you say you think of Simpsons more than Garfield or Mickey Mouse more
I
than
definitely
Garfield?
quote Simpsons more.
Right, and I would say the same as well. But apparently, Garfield is ridiculously ingrained amongst pop culture. He dates before so many of the pop culture icons that we know of, and man, like there's basically like ridiculous amounts of fan art out there. I've found this website that this Super Eye Patch Wolf talks about called Garfamon, and this artist has I'm showing you right now illustrated Garfield as every single Pokemon to ever exist, and it just goes on, and I mean it just shows you also how versatile Garfield is as a character.
Why has he done this?
Dude, this is not even the tip of the iceberg. So there's this subreddit called r/Alzheimer's group,
Okay.
and in conjunction, I'm bringing it up right now. I don't know how many subscribers there are to this.
It's the top right. We'll tell you. You missed it. Yep, there. What does it say? Subscribers there on the right.
76,200, right?
Yeah.
And collectively, they all pretend like they have Alzheimer's and repost the same Garfield comic strip every single couple of hours, every couple of minutes. And
okay.
And some of them get taken a bit crazy. Like some people put a bit of artistry license on them, but it's essentially the same panel over and over again. And some of these comments that people are writing when they upload the post is, could you please send this to my grandson? I heard he loves how to read funny comics, and I picked this one out for him. And then the next one is, found a good one today, and it's the exact same comic strip.
So what is a comic strip? Describe it. So Garfield's, he's looking like this.
So your classic Garfield comic strip is 3 panels.
He's looking, is it really?
Yeah. There's some long versions, but the most consistent ones, which there's like apparently tens of thousands of them, it's just your 3-panel strip. And these people have just committed. These are all strangers, and they're all pretending they have Alzheimer's, uploading the same Garfield comic every single day.
It's just like so unbelievable that people have this and they want to do it. They find it funny.
He has hundreds of millions of Garfield has hundreds of millions of fans. Like I've heard this stat. The New York Times had to change the way they categorize its bestsellers list because 7 out of the 10 slots were taken up by Garfield comics.
Really?
Yes.
That's the most ridiculous thing
I don't know one person that loves Garfield this much.
I have not spoken to someone
No.
in the last 2 decades that has gone, you know what I love?
Yeah.
Garfield. And you know what I love reading every day? Garfield.
And I guarantee you, everyone, if you do give this some time, it's like an hour and a half or something, watch it, and the most peculiar thing happens because it's like when you get a new car and you start seeing your car everywhere, you start seeing Garfield everywhere. As I was doing research for this segment, my partner was reading a book, and it was playing in the background, and she gasped. She showed me the page she was reading, and someone had literally written lasagna something Garfield in the book. And then she also showed me that Pete Alexander is releasing a Garfield range. Again, who's buying this stuff?
Hasn't the original author died?
Jim Davis.
Is he dead, or is he still making Garfield?
I think he's still making Garfield, but he has like a bunch of people that will take over the mantle when he does go. But I even was watching a movie, and a character in the movie had a Garfield tattoo.
He's still alive.
He's still kicking.
76.
He's got well.
Cartoonist Jim Davis. Is he still working? Still making Garfield? I
think so.
My God,
Isn't that
what's the comic say? Read it out. So he's Garfield's thinking what?
Well, I'm hoping I'm looking at the original because I know some of these people do edit them slightly, but there's basically the panel starts off with Garfield looking bored at a table, and I mean I know the running joke is can John understand Garfield, or are they communicating, or is it Garfield's thoughts and John just kind of speaking to him like a cat owner would? But Garfield's perched up at his desk and he's like, "There's nothing happening," and then Is it John?
John. Yeah.
John. He goes, I finally got the wildfire in my sock drawer under control, and he comes in huffing and puffing with like a napkin and burn marks on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends with Garfield sitting at a desk, bored, still saying, out of the ordinary, I mean. It doesn't, I don't think it really, I mean...
it doesn't really, like, answer the question.
No, and what this person did in the video, find out, they watched that one, they read as many comic strips as they could, and there was very little that they found funny. I actually have another stat that was pretty interesting. There was this small town in France, and for, I think, over a decade, people were finding Garfield telephones washing up on the beaches, and nobody knew where this was coming from. And this went on for a decade, and people just kept finding these Garfield telephones washing up on the beaches. They found after 10 years or so, they found a shipping container that had been lost full of Garfield phones. There was even this plush toy released, I think, in the late 80s, early 90s, of Garfield with little suction cups for hands. And, you know, people would put them in windows, in your car.
Yeah, I actually do see those every once in a while.
Right. Well, apparently this was so ridiculously popular at the time that people were breaking into cars and leaving, you know, the head deck and valuables and stealing these Garfield plushies, that they had to actually put a pause on the manufacturing because people were just going crazy for these Garfield plushies.
That is ridiculous.
And growing up, you know...
where in Western culture? Like here? Or is it like mostly like Asian culture or something?
No, America.
What year was this?
This has been since the get-go. He'd been a cultural phenomenon. But I'm saying to you, like, I don't see much Garfield, but I'm telling you, once you watch this video, you see Garfield. He is everywhere. And I don't know who's asking for it.
I'm going to be in the Garfield universe, and all I'm going to be seeing is Garfield everywhere I go now, which is going to freak me out.
Hundreds of millions of fans. It's very, very strange.
Garfield worth on Google, guys. 160 billion. No.
No, dude.
It's only worth $13 million. It's worth $13 million.
Get this. Its merchandising sales, Garfield, is $800 million to $1 billion each year. Merchandising.
Just merchandising.
But, you know, I'm talking, you know, books, cards, couches, lamps, everything Garfield.
Yeah. That's like
800 million to 1 billion each year of sales. Where is this stuff? Who's buying it? I don't know anyone that has anything Garfield.
It said the comic ended in 1994. That's when he stopped writing it. Unless someone else has taken over it, which I doubt.
I think he did. People are still drawing the comic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like they've given up the rights.
But I mean, like, it's still trending. Like the fact that Peter Alexander's releasing a line of Garfield clothes, it makes me... I don't know anyone that's a Garfield fan this heavily, but he's huge.
This is the darkest timeline.
I mean, imagine you sift through your stuff. There might be a childhood photo. You're going to find something Garfield.
I had a book, 2 books. It was Garfield Hates Mondays and like a Garfield mega collection, which had a bunch of, you know, the comics stuck together, but it was color because I remember heaps were in black and white. And I don't know if it's the originals. It looked like that, color.
I don't remember that many being black and white. I remember seeing this like in my local newspaper.
I think the original one was every Monday comic from the original, because I'm pretty sure when he was drawing them, they were black and white.
Yeah, they would have been.
Yeah.
Back in like, you know,
pre-Mickey Mouse. Newspaper would have been... Actually, I don't know. Newspaper would have been color, but... Well, it was the New York Times he did it in, right?
No, that was just their bestsellers list. They had to change the way they categorized it because it was occupying 7 out of 10 slots.
That is cooked.
I don't know these people. I don't know one person that owns more than one.
They're out there, man. If you can think of it, it's out there. Like, I know subreddits that are just gibberish numbers being repeated day after day. And there's no sense to it at all. It's maybe like someone thinking, oh my God, look how great I am because I can come up with this fucking ridiculous idea that...
But unironically, buying Garfield merch, I mean, 800 million to 1 billion worth of sales, that's a lot of dash.
There's a lot of Garfield bucks.
I don't know where these people are. It's scary.
If you're out there, comment and let us know.
Also, I think...
And why Garfield?
I think what you brought up there was Andrew Garfield's net worth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, wait, no. Garfield worth, I wrote Andrew Garfield. Oh, okay.
Yes, different character. One was Spider-Man.
Garfield
I bet you there is a Garfield Spider-Man. I bet you there is a Garfield Spider-Man.
Exactly. Oh, it's 7. Ow, this thing keeps zapping me, man.
Technical difficulties, guys.
Ow, that freaking hurt. My mic's like electrified. I have no idea how.
You just spit too many facts, dude.
There's something wrong with this cable. I'm going to plug it in a bit better. Okay, that's it. Still there? No. All right. 500 to 700. Wait, what? He sold the strips. No, Brian Weedman told the publication the daily comic strips sold for about 500 to 700, while the longer form Sunday comic strips, he would be getting $1,500 to $3,000.
Is that
back then?
Is that for
That's
each
how much
strip?
they paid him.
Each strip.
What if I just type net worth? Garfield comic net worth. Forget it.
Well, you got to think about, dude. There's so many different manufacturers making things that aren't under the contract of him.
Yeah, it's like merchandising.
Just merchandise. So that's where a lot of numbers are coming from.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It was just the merchandising you're saying is worth that much. It must be worth theoretically billions. 800
million to 1 billion.
That's too much.
At the same time, you think that your day-to-day life, you're not seeing any Garfield. It's there.
Yeah.
Once you watch this video, Garfield is everywhere, and it's pretty freaky.
All right, I'm scared. You've actually freaked me out that I'm gonna become psychotic and Garfield.
After this episode, everyone, if you could give it a week, maybe 2. Put down in the comments below what Garfield you saw and where you saw it and how was it. How did it come about? Because I want to know. I want to know where you guys are seeing Garfield. I saw it on a movie. A clothing line is launching it, and
maybe it's massive in the US.
It's international, man.
I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
You will. I'm
seeing it sometimes.
I thought the same. Once you watch it, then that's it. See you later.
Okay, what else? Other than Garfield.
I don't know. What do you got? What do you got?
All right. What I wanted to talk to you about was something random.
Okay.
But it's cooked. And I saved it for this podcast because I sat on it for maybe 6 months.
That's a long time, dude. I appreciate that.
It's a long time.
I'm excited.
All right, you're just looking up buff Garfields now.
Am I?
Top, bottom right. Top
Sorry.
right.
We don't want to look at him.
Yeah.
But there's every type.
Okay. This dude. All right, it's conspiracy.
We got to get our tinfoil hats on. We need to get a little soundbite for that. We need to get a little
X-Files theme.
Yeah.
Okay. This dude claims to work for the CIA. I forget his name. I will find it soon. I'll come back to it.
That's part of working for the CIA, dude.
So he came out. He's done his thing. He did it all. He claimed he could lucid dream on command, okay?
Okay.
So he could do it every time he went to sleep. He could lucid dream. He could do it no matter what. They were monitoring. This was like MK Ultra days. I guess what, the 70s?
I think it was around that time.
He claimed that every time so they were trying to do experiment on it, and this is like legit. You can look up MK Ultra and all that, and then what they were doing with dreaming and stuff back in the 70s. What they can do probably now is probably mind-boggling, but this was back then. And he said that they were doing it, and he had to. He would say that they were doing remote viewing from inside lucid dreams.
Right.
And this was, so you know what remote viewing is, right?
Is that putting your not non-physical mind in a scenario to view it from out of your body?
That's right. So you're essentially looking at a place like, you go in, like you can project your mind and your thoughts to view some area that's outside your body. And you can do this with 100% accuracy, let's say. So he would say that they were testing that lucid dreaming could only happen, remote viewing could only happen inside of lucid dreaming, right? Which I thought was super interesting. So he would have the lucid dream and they would monitor him on the waveform on the brain scan. He claimed that when he clicked these heels together, they needed some tell. So he would dream and they would need some tell on the monitor of like he was lucid dreaming and he was aware of it and he was signaling to the outside people that he was dreaming.
Are you saying his physical body clicked its heels?
No. He did it in the dream. Mm-hmm. And when he clicked his heels in the dream, it would like signal some sort of frequency that they were monitoring on the outside of his body, in his brainwaves, that, okay, he's lucid dreaming. Now we need to tell him what to do.
Right.
And he would do this. And he said he could do it. And he said he was training other people to do it. And he said that the experiment went on for like, I don't know. Don't quote me on the time. A couple of weeks, I think. And he got to the point where he could dream, he'd get out of it and it'd be fine. But then he said one time he got out of the dream and he went to flick off a light switch and his hand, I'm getting goosebumps from this. This is how freaky it was when I heard it. He went to flick off a light switch and his hand went through it.
Wow.
And he was like, no, I hate saying like. He then said that he woke up after he had been already awake for maybe half a day. He woke up again. And then he said, okay. And then he said, okay, now I'm out of it. And then went about his day again. And it happened again.
That's terrifying.
So he said it happened about 30 times that he would live. And it said at one point he was living months. He was living months in the dream. He was living months in the dream and then waking up. And he said, holy shit, I think I'm stuck. And it kept happening. He couldn't make it stop. I think he said it happened about 30 times and then he woke up and he was just trembling. And he said he lay on the bed for 5 hours until he was pretty convinced that he woke up and he was actually awake. But he said he lived a couple of months in his dream with 100% clarity.
Do you know if the people once you're in astral form, are they operating as they would themselves, or are you controlling what you're seeing and how they're moving? So if he woke up and had an interaction with someone, how does he know that he's not creating?
Well, he was still dreaming. He wasn't remote viewing anymore. He was just lucid dreaming still.
So like I'm saying,
he was waking up with dreams within dreams, like Inception.
But he was convinced that it was reality.
He was 100% sure that he was awake because it was that realistic.
So the people that are in those lucid states,
it acted all like normal.
Yeah.
He said he could not tell the difference.
And that's what's scary, because then what's your
where's the baseline?
Base? Yeah,
what's your baseline? And he said he was shitting himself, and
no
he thought he was going to die, and he was trying to kill himself. I think at one point in the dreams because he couldn't take it. And then he woke up and he said he was absolutely terrified, shaking, and he just lay there. And he immediately got up and said, "That's it, we're canceling the program." And he could have to stop because he said, I was going to become psychotic. I could not tell the difference between the dream and reality anymore. That is freaky as hell.
That is very, very scary. I mean, it's like, you could practice on how to get there, but you could never practice and teach your brain of what the understanding of what base reality is.
Yeah.
Because then you got to get into like the whole topic of, are we in a
simulation
base reality? Are we in base reality?
Yeah. So that's how I feel. I mean, I don't want to talk about a huge amount, but
we can save simulation theory for another day. That's a whole episode.
Whole thing about.
Man, we're really touching on Elon Musk today. He's got his fingers in everything.
Oh yeah, we were saying earlier. Yeah. Wait, but what did you think? Wait, sorry. Before we jump on to the next topic, what did you think? Cooked? Like, do you think that's legit?
I think that's very plausible, man, because I know that people practice it. I know that people also do remote viewing. I do believe some. I mean, I don't know whereabouts in the world this is, but I do believe as last resorts, they do get some people to remote view to help with cases to kind of.
You mean like back in the day? It's like, well, we have this murderer, we don't know where the body is, and then they try and remote view and find they have a piece of paper and go.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
This is the body is on this piece of paper. There's a number, and then they can find their way. Because is it also like with astral projection? There's no kind of concept of time. You can kind of go back in time, forward in time, or not so much forward, but there's a bit of movement.
Not 100%.
Right. That's interesting. That is really freaky. And I had a friend in high school who he was practicing it.
Lucid dreaming?
He was practicing lucid dreaming. And from my understanding, from what he told me, there's two ways to go about it. And I'm probably sure there's hundreds. But there's your more safer way, which is done over time, which is where you have a dream, you keep a dream journal, And the more you do that, the more aware you are of your dreams, to the point of when you're in a dream, you get to the point where you're aware you're in the dream.
Yeah.
And then there was a shortcut way, which was, I think, a really dangerous way, which actually backfired on him, where you pretty much lay still in your bed, and please don't do this at home and research it before you do it, but you lay in bed and you pretty much lay as still as you can, and your body will start falling asleep before your mind does. And what your brain will do is start sending bits of electrons and stuff to get you to move, just to double check that you're awake, because it knows that you're not moving, and it'll essentially make parts of you itchy to scratch, but you got to fight it all, stay dead still until there's a point where your body shuts off. You'll probably blink. When you open your eyes again, you're in that mode. But I heard that practicing that method can really induce sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
right.
And that it's happened to me once, and it was horrifying. And it lasted 5 seconds, and I saw a woman's face, and I was freaked out.
Well, my friend said, he was in his bed, and no one was home, and he could feel this rumbling, and these demons came out from the ground and were like looming over him and stepping on his chest. And he said he was trying to scream, but he couldn't. And it lasted long enough that he just started crying when he woke up. And it's such an immense feeling. It's happened to me. I haven't seen anything, but when my experience was, I rolled over, and then I realized that I hadn't rolled over. I was still on my back, and then I did it like 3 times, and then I had realized I'm stone still, like I'm not moving. My eyes were open, and then everything just went super dark, and there's just an impending fear of restraint. You can't move your body, but your mind is so awake, and it was like using all my willpower to be like, get up, and then my body just shot up, and it's like, it's panic.
I think it's got to do, you get scared. I mean, I think the people that do get scared from it are people who don't like feeling out of control of their body. And I'm sure a lot of people don't.
I think it's to do with the in-between state of dreaming and awake.
There's also that. But I know a mate's dad who it happened to, and he lay like that for an hour being totally calm and was just like, oh, what's going on? Like, this is weird. Am I still dreaming? And he was like totally chill. But this guy was like very like mentally strong.
I can't imagine lying there for an hour, not being able to move and being awake.
That's right.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and I was the same. I immediately saw something, and I was horrified, and thought, I need to wake up now, and I shut up. But I willed myself to do it. And it was super scary, and what I saw was super vivid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't recommend trying it either, because
don't practice it unless you've done as much research as you can. Because you end up like this CIA MK Ultra dude and be stuck in some reality.
Yeah, that's a massive trip. I would be so scared that I'm just going to wake up at any point. It's like in the show as well, Inception. He couldn't tell. His wife killed himself in the movie. That herself. Sorry, yeah. That she couldn't tell the difference anymore.
Yeah, it got too much.
Yeah, that's
and those were people that trained to do that. They weren't just
I know.
giving it a go. Those people, that was their job.
That was like super psychic.
It just shows that even if you're well adept with it, you still can't 100% tell if you are in base reality.
I think it's just the power of being human, right?
Yeah. Well, there's still no way to prove it right now. So, Garfield is base reality.
Base reality. Base G1.
Base G1, and it's all orange, and everything is coated in Garfield's skin. I'm sorry, John.
The all-ended, almighty space baby in the universe is Garfield.
Yes, he's reincarnate.
It's like the Neon Genesis and we're merging with Garfield at the end. That's what you see.
I mean, there's so much of him. They're just hints of his existence.
I'm gonna be so scared now, walking around thinking I've got like schizophrenia, and I'm just like obsessed with Garfield, and I'm seeing him everywhere. It's like number 23. It's like I see it everywhere. I can't stop.
Dude, you're gonna see it. I'm telling you right now. Give it a week. You're gonna see something.
That's when you're looking out for it. Like it's like when you get a car. Exactly what you said. You get a car, you see it everywhere. You're like, oh my god, a car, and you just never noticed.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, with like Mickey Mouse, I see a lot. I'm not looking for Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, but I think Mickey Mouse is more popular than Garfield, and that's why. No, Mickey Mouse has got to be worth more than Garfield. There's bullshit if you're telling me Mickey Mouse ain't worth more than Garfield. I think
Disney maybe, but Mickey Mouse, I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, Disney.
As a character, how often is Mickey Mouse used as a in anything.
Is anything now.
It's just old, but like, the characters rehashed, but there's no Mickey Mouse movie coming out.
No.
There's a Garfield movie coming out.
Another one?
Yeah, dude. What's his name? What's his name, dude?
God damn.
I know. Who asked for that? You tell me. Isn't there?
No, I thought that was that original one, which was horrible. Who played him? Bill Murray again? Oh, Bill Murray
Pratt,
said...
dude. Chris Pratt is going to
He's
be...
Mario and he's Garfield. I think baseline reality is Chris Pratt.
He's playing all the iconic characters.
Nah, you know what? He's the golden child now. Everyone in Hollywood is just going, oh man, if we get Chris Pratt, we're making money. Chris Pratt is money.
I think he lost a lot of fans though when he went like mad religious though.
Is he?
Oh yeah, he went heavy.
In what religion?
I don't want to fuck it up, so I don't want to just guess, but
Scientology.
No, like I think he's like heavy Christian.
Okay.
And like I to the point where I unfollowed him on Instagram because his posts are very religious.
No.
Hey, but he's still a lovable guy, but
I like him. It's like I rule with my religion. It drives all my thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, you believe in something, sure, but when you're like, wait, so he is Garfield, 100%?
Is there a new Garfield movie? Garfield is a 2022 American 3D computer animated action comedy drama produced blah blah blah. Yeah. I think apparently this year, July 2nd, 2022.
It's like when they came out with the Mario guy in the Mario movie. We've had the same Mario actor for 35 years. Do you think we'll get Mario? What was his name? Who plays the original Mario? What's his name?
I don't know. I know who you're talking about, dude.
The white dude.
Yeah,
the older guy.
He's got grey hair now. But yeah, and then like
the
iconic sound, and you're just gonna use Chris Pratt. But it's like Ryan Reynolds, dude. They're just using him for
it's a cash cow. It's he's the golden milk baby.
That's it.
What am I saying? What is it? Cash cow, milk baby. God damn.
That's a turmeric latte baby.
Charles Martinet. Yeah.
I'd be crushed. If that's my life's work, and then the dude that trains dog-like dinosaurs takes over your role.
He looks fatter there. Chris Pratt. Is it the beard?
That's probably the beard.
You think he's still jacked like he was in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Maybe he did method acting and ate a bunch of lasagna for the role.
Yeah, he's bulking Garfield style. I must consume the character's
He's got like
exact calories to
Christian
feel.
Bale.
Oh, what I was going to say before is Bill Murray said the worst thing and most regrettable thing he ever did in his life was voice Garfield.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
He's done a lot of movies though.
Yeah, but he said the worst thing he ever did was be Garfield.
I'd believe that. He's very honest. I don't think he holds back anything.
Mondays.
Yeah, that would be pretty shit. I think I did watch that a lot as a kid though. I feel...
No, he just...
that.
it was like a 2D animated thing, right? Before I went to that shitty 3D thing. But he also did the 3D thing.
I remember it being 3D. But I do remember watching that. It was 2004, so we were pretty young. But yeah, I remember watching that.
I do. And I remember thinking it was nothing special at the time, even when I was probably like...
It's kind of like a boring movie for a kid.
12.
But again, who's asking for it? At what executive table do they go, I think the world wants another Garfield movie?
Because we're in Garfield baseline reality. Dude. They're like, everything must become Garfield slowly.
He is all.
He is all.
He is like. I don't think we're in the base reality for Garfield, but these are the hints to show his existence in base reality.
Yeah. I'll just agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, you were saying... Oh, yeah, Elon Musk was saying as well.
No, I'm just saying, like, we've touched upon... It's like, after discussing several of the things we've discussed today, it's very apparent that he has his fingers in everything. He has an interest in space travel, in simulation theory. He's
just a rich guy that's like, I'm going to do whatever I want at this point. You cannot stop me.
Pretty much. I heard his Los Angeles tunnel isn't doing so well.
No, it's... so you know how he promised all that stuff. He's not good with his promises. I have to say that. There's a timeline video I saw where every single year they go, how far away from full autonomous? About a year. And then like it goes, and that's been going on for like 8 years.
I guess because he's more of an ideas man rather than executing. He has the idea and the funds to do it. He just gets people to make it happen. And
yeah, but he's also kind of hyping his own thing where he says a year. He could say, I have no idea.
Maybe for funding reasons.
But he always just says yeah, for funding, for sure. People are like, oh my God, it's a year away. Let's buy.
Gonna cash in on that.
Tesla, go. Stock, buy.
That's
go.
it, dude.
It's Tesla, stock,
And
buy.
they're skyrocketing.
They are. But, so you remember when he came out with the Roadster?
Yes.
The new one. Like the old one was from ages ago, was the original car I think they had from like 20 years ago.
I think I actually just saw my first one. Are they released?
No, they're not released. So the point is that he's been promising this car for ages, and everyone deposits, pre-orders sold out immediately within like a minute. And I was like, okay, it's whatever. It's like the car doesn't even exist yet.
That's interesting. I mean, I know there's a bunch of people that just want to be the first person to have this sort of stuff because they got the cash to throw around. But it's a nice car, man. It's pretty sweet and affordable, right?
No. This is the one that's like crazy fast.
Yeah.
It's not the...
It's very affordable for what it's capable of doing compared to like
the Roadster
supercars.
is like... Is that the Roadster?
I believe this could be it.
$200,000
compared to like, Bugatti.
Oh, yeah. Okay, compared to that, it's relatively cheap.
You got the speed and the luxury.
Yes.
And all the mods and cons. But
no one's got it yet. They had to refund all the pre-orders.
Interesting.
Because they were like, people were saying, it's been like 2-3 years and they still don't have anything. So, yeah. They just gave it all back, which I thought was weird.
That's interesting. And I can imagine that money would have been in deep into other projects. So that's a pretty bad hit for Tesla.
Well, they have to do it.
Well,
they're not giving the product.
Aren't the autonomous trucks also in the works? That's been in the works for a long time?
Yeah, I think that might even be already... don't quote me on it. It might be out already.
What happens to... Like, that's a freaky thing, I think, when it goes full autonomous on the roads.
Yeah. So he's... Now, all of a sudden, I'm conquering space. I'm doing this. I'm going to buy Twitter.
Do you think...
I'm going to just do it.
Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are kind of like... They feel that they're competing?
Competition.
Yeah,
yep,
definitely. Who's got the biggest dick?
Jeff Bezos, ship looked like a fucking penis.
Yeah, true.
And straight up was like, this is my schlong. It's going into space. My schlong is the best. It is space schlong.
Did you hear that theory of...
Oh, here we go.
Did you hear that theory of... when Elon Musk sent that Roadster or Tesla out into space? Do you remember that? It was a while ago.
Yeah. That was his one. And it had the Moon Man in it.
It had a little astronaut in there. Yeah. And I heard a couple of funny theories. One was, imagine like that was a very popular figure, and the best way to get rid of them and hide any evidence was put him in an astronaut suit and shoot in space.
Okay. And never get it back. He just shot it into the stratosphere.
Wasn't there like a live...
yeah, there was, but obviously it cuts out after a while and runs out of battery.
The other one that I thought was really hilarious was, imagine we are currently... due to be visited by aliens, and they're coming at light speed, and they go head-on collision with this random Tesla flying through space, and that stopped them.
Old mate chilling like this.
Yeah, and just this alien life that would have just brought prosperity to our world just gets taken out by this Tesla flying through space. That would be so shit, and we would never know. That's already happened.
Or they see it and go, nah, this ain't right, and turn around.
Those humans that were 3 years ahead of us.
That's them. No,
0 years ahead now because they just got taken out by a Tesla.
Yeah, it was just them, and all of the humanity was on the.
Yeah, dude. It was one of those like birth chips where it's just like a bunch of people frozen.
Making to salvation, Tesla.
Cryos.
They have a car crash in space.
Oh man, that would be terrible. But dude, that could affect something. That's like is that not just an extreme version of the butterfly effect? That Tesla will have an impact on something at one point in time. It is infinitely going. It's going to collide with something.
That was ripples of time, not like... So, he was changing his time by experiencing a different timeline with his mind.
No, but the butterfly effect is that theory
that a butterfly's wings will flap, and that little flap sends like a shockwave throughout reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's if you... I think butterfly effect is only if you go back in time.
Well, no, think about this. This is happening right now. So this Tesla hits a asteroid, just slightly knocks it off its trajectory that it was originally going to go in, and then that collides with Earth. You know what I'm talking about? Like, there's such a knock-on effect of this Tesla possibly going through the universe right now. It could affect an alien's life. It could just drop in and just meteor down on some small planet.
Oh, man, it'd burn up for sure. Yeah. So
What if
dude
that
is like,
planet has?
where I park my car?
What if that planet has shit ozone, dude? That planet, and that it's just like we've finally reached prosperity and a unity amongst everyone in this planet, and there's this Tesla just comes in and kills the president.
Kills, just straight up murders the president. Like, that's it. We're purging. That was the final straw of losing prosperity, and that was it.
And then that alien race is on a vendetta to kill whoever invented the Tesla, so they invade Earth. That's the origin story
it's
for
Independence
alien
Day.
invasion.
And then we need Will Smith to slap him.
Nice, dude.
And then we need
How do you like that?
Welcome to Earth. And he slaps an alien.
That's how we do.
That's how we do. God damn, that guy's an idiot.
I
really liked him, before that.
Me too. Did you I know none of you listeners. I mean, maybe some of you know our professions, but I'm a graphic designer, and Daniel is in editing. Yeah, you know that scene in an Independence Day where the old school dude, the drunk guy, flies the ship into the mothership and blows it up.
Yep.
And you see like the whole explosion.
What does he say? He screams something out. I love that scene.
It's a good scene.
And it blows up. Yep.
The footage that they use to show that explosion is the footage of I think the Empire State Building getting destroyed by one of the aliens, flipped upside down and color graded.
So they just reuse the same footage.
If you look closely, it's the Empire State Building upside down, all blue. That's meant to be the alien part, and they just had the same footage of it exploding, but upside down, flipped upside down, and I mean, you had to make your.
Well, there was all miniatures. I remember watching the making. It was literally all miniatures, and they go, no, we're not going to shoot it again. How do we do it? Flip it upside down.
There you go. Saved on cost, and no one knew. And
I didn't even notice, but you know what? It's been ages since I've been seen it, and I bet you if I watch it again, I can pick up.
You'd appreciate that.
I can pick up a lot more now.
How long have we been going for?
This episode?
Yeah.
Oh, we're near the end. We're up to 50. We're over 50 minutes because I started the timer late like an idiot.
Oh, that's okay. Humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings. Okay, how do you want to end it? Oh, the spook story we talked about.
Spook story.
I have one.
Go for it.
Okay. Ooh. It's ghosts. Okay, I don't know about ghosts. I'm spiritual, I guess. But
yeah, I'm on the fence with ghosts.
I would love to know 100%. I haven't seen anything since that, but I also live a pretty chill life where I'm not hunting ghosts and going into, what do you call it? Like forbidden cemeteries and stuff like that. I'm not doing those things where you would consider the ghostly beings to be. This happened at my girlfriend's house at the time, and this was the middle of the day. And I was sitting in the front room and she was upstairs putting makeup on. And I was just chilling on my phone, waiting for her to come down. Yeah. And eventually I heard her footsteps come down the stairs. And I heard her go away. So I'm in the front area where the door was, like the front door. I'm like right near the front door. And the stairs was just parallel from straight ahead from where I was looking. So then I heard her turn left.
You're in a lounge room that you can't see this happening.
I cannot see what's happening. I can barely see the hallway. I can just see a little bit of the hallway. I can't see where the stairs. I can't see where the stairs stop.
And the stairs come and like lead to the front door. Is what you're saying?
No. They are perpendicular to the front door. So if you come down the stairs, you need to turn right to go to the door. Mm-hmm. If you turn left, you go to the kitchen.
Okay.
So I heard her go to the kitchen and try and scare me, like rah. Like rah, I heard that noise, like a woman's voice go rah, and the dog went bananas. Who was like in the room, and he was in his cage because we needed to go outside, and he stays in his cage for the day, just for a couple of hours or whatever. He went ballistic, and I laughed because I thought you scared the dog.
Yeah, you didn't get me,
and you didn't get me, and I yell out, "You didn't get me! You didn't get me!" And then I chuckled to myself, and I hear her call up from upstairs. What? And I go, huh?
And you're home alone.
We were home alone, 100%. So I go into the kitchen because I jump up and within 10 steps, I'm at the staircase and I run to the kitchen. No one is there. And I so 100% heard something, but also the dog heard something, which solidified it for me. I run upstairs. I was pretty freaked out, and I went upstairs and I talked to her and I said, this is what happened. And she goes, I told you that my house is haunted, that I hear shit all the time, and we hear footsteps and we hear that and all the time. I
thought she was going to be like, I told you not to summon spirits.
Okay, that too. And I'm not allowed to. But
that's freaky, dude.
But look, that was 100% sure I heard something. The dog heard something.
Oh, yeah.
Solidified it for me. I have goosebumps right now talking about it. That's how freaky it was.
That was a real experience.
And it was. But that's probably the only thing that I've heard.
Right.
And experienced that I can 100% say that I heard something, and it was coincidental enough to know that was kind of freaky. And I 100% heard footsteps come down the stairs. They were very clear, and it was a woman's voice very clearly.
Wow.
Now you.
For me, I mean, I'd have to really go back in time to find what memories I have with ghosts or anything like that. But I have one that I remember being very young and really not having an answer for, even to this day. I was at my cousin's house, and I think I was waiting for him to go downstairs with me, and he was in his bedroom, and I was at the top of the stairs with my head in between the railings. Mm-hmm. And just at the base of the stairs, my uncle had under the stairs storage. So you'd click the door to open it up, kind of like how Harry Potter was sleeping in his crib. And I think I saw my uncle, I mean, because I couldn't see straight down, but I could see my uncle go under the stairs. I think he left it a little bit open, and then he went away, and I might have just looked away and came back, and I think I said something, and I heard shh, and I'm like, shh, and then I heard shh, and then I was like, I looked down, and I'm like, it's coming from under the stairs. I went shh, and I went shh, and then I called out for my uncle, and he's like, yeah, and he was in the lounge room, down the back of the house, and I was like, frozen. I did not want to go downstairs because you'd have to walk past under the stairs. I don't know what did it. I know that nothing was in there because my cousin then came out of his room and we went downstairs together, but I was freaked out of under the stairs because I distinctly remember hearing something shushing me back, and it was, you're a kid, you got pretty good hearing. It was definitely coming from directly below me, and my uncle was definitely in the back of in the house, so that freaked me out. And I think that's...
How old were you?
Oh man, I would have been maybe before 8 years old. So yeah, maybe 6 or 7. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
interesting.
So what do you? Because you don't believe in ghosts per se.
I don't know.
What are your theories on ghosts? What do you how do you believe they come about, if they do come about? What do you think it is?
It's got to be spiritual. You can't say that humans aren't spiritual and things don't happen that you can't explain. And I do believe in ghosts. I would say spirits.
I do believe
but
in
I
ghosts.
don't believe they're just hanging around looking to haunt us. It's more like echoes of... I don't think they're sentient beings. Right. I think it's more that energy is somehow left and echoing out through the time. And you have moments where reality lapses with these kind of old memories of...
Yeah, nice. I actually believe in something very, very similar. I believe that, how I guess everything is kind of infinite.
Yep.
And I can believe that the energy that would have been passing in that location at that time in a different timeline, that was just happening, and so something's just overlapping slightly through the veil, but they're both equally real in their own timelines, respectively.
Yeah. Freaky.
Very freaky.
Okay, I think that's it, man. I think that's
episode 1.
That's episode 1. Yeah, I hope you guys found this enjoyable.
I hope you're in a sleep right now, and you when you fall asleep with the TV and you wake up to some weird advertisement. But I hope you paid attention the whole time, enjoyed it.
Yep. I hope we didn't bore you to death, but there will be more of us. And if you liked it, let us know and subscribe and whatever. And
yeah, check out all our socials and stuff. We'll link them below. Yeah. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That's my first time saying that.
Like and subscribe. No. We'll see you guys next time. And peace.
Thank you for listening to Double Dose.
See ya.